Diddy has to sell everything to come up with the bread to pay all these people that are coming forward and speaking about the things that he was doing, like the lawsuits and everything that's in the affidavit released by DJ Academics. It says exactly what Cassie was saying. It says exactly what a lot of the people have been trying to advocate. And Tupac warned everybody, saying that be careful of Diddy. It's not what it seems like. People have to start to realize that this whole entire thing, man, it was a lot of people who was being very greedy and jealous and envious. And this is what made P. Diddy actually want to take control and have a lot of this power and everything. He let the money go to his head, man. A lot of people, when they're not even supposed to have a lot of money like that. And so what he did, man, he went overboard with a lot of the things. This is why people don't get along with P. Diddy. And they knew this for a long time, man. 50 Cent, he came out and said he would never work with Diddy because he's not cool with some of the things that he does. And then now people are starting to finally realize what it is and what he meant by that, man. If you guys are rocking with Cassie, Tupac, Danity Kane, and all of them, put the 222s in the comment section, because let me know if y'all supporting them, because they went through a lot of stuff. The families from Tupac, the families from Cassie, they're still trying to get justice for their peoples. Like the fact that the money, yeah, it's not gonna erase any of the stuff that actually happened and went on, man. Danity Kane, they threw their whole career away just to get away from Diddy. They knew that it wasn't worth doing what they had to do, and that this whole thing, it was a setup, it was a plot, man. He was just really trying to use them to get a lot of their money from them, man. People think that Diddy's been using a lot of people for a long time. All of these celebrities, you see how many people used to be in Bad Boys, and now all of them is just gone out the picture, or whatever the case may be. Diddy has a lot to do with a lot of that, man. And his bodyguard, Gene Deal, he's the one that's coming forward, really explaining the details behind the scenes of everything that happened. He sat next to Diddy while he had phone calls on speakerphone where Diddy was actually planning and plotting certain things, how to get rid of this person, that person. They was talking about Cassie behind their back. They was talking about Tupac behind his back, and Biggie and everybody else, man. A lot of people think that Diddy had Pac and Biggie hit up. This is the crazy thing, because this is what Gene Deal said. He said that Diddy, he overheard him on the phone call talking about how he don't care if Biggie got to get taken out or Pac got to get taken out, but he's the one that's going to survive the East Coast, West Coast. So Diddy, he was being very selfish from the jump. He was only thinking about himself. He started this East Coast, West Coast thing and really added to the fuel. He never tried to make it calm down or anything like that. He never tried to tell all the people to not do that or not to involve themselves in it. He really hyped it up, had people get in harm's way. A lot of families, like, condolences go out to all the families that have been affected by Diddy and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that this has been going on for a while, man. He sat there and contributed to a lot of that beef, a lot of that the issues that's been like plaguing our communities and everything. Like Diddy, he had to give that $1 million to Howard and everything. He threw a party at Howard and a lot of people got trampled and everything. Like, he still had to pay millions and millions of dollars from the 90s or like late 90s, early 2000s from that situation. And so this is nothing new, man. Diddy's been throwing hush money around for the last 20, 30 years, and this is exactly how it goes. Usually somebody had something done to them, so they come forward and speak out. But then before it hits the public stage and the mainstream and everything like that, Diddy and his people make sure to try to cut a check quick to hush them up, because they don't want that to tarnish his name. But now he did something that has gone way too far, where he can't backtrack and like clean his image up from that. There's no amount of hush money that's gonna make him save from all of the things that he did. Large companies like Macy's, they're dropping Diddy now. People are starting to not wear Sean John anymore. I haven't seen people wearing Sean John in a long, long time, but I guess they're stopping the whole production line. He had to sell Revolt. 50 Cent is trying to buy every single little thing that Diddy used to have, so that now he could say that the own, it's in the rights, it's in the name. The owner is like the person that's in the right, you know what I'm saying? So they're basically talking about how Diddy never deserved to like own all that stuff. He had all these millions of dollars. He didn't really deserve that, especially with the things that he was doing. And so this is why 50 Cent was like, you know what? It's in the right hands now. The owner, the management, he's buying everything. He's going to actually like drain the whole entire swamp of what Diddy was doing. He's going to get all new people. Anybody that Diddy did wrong, he looked at him wrong, he still owes him money. 50 Cent going to make sure to come through and take him under like his wing and make sure that they become successful, successful, because this is what 50 Cent's trying to do. He's trying to establish the fact that he's against Diddy. He Ben did that the whole time. He wasn't trying to work with Diddy or thirsty to do that like all the other artists were. They were so thirsty to work with Diddy, they fell for the trick, man. A lot of people fell for the trick. Diddy was basically persuading and like tricking people into going with him, and then this is why he was getting them to do all these weird, crazy things, and then they ended up being surprised, like, yeah, you know, I went to this with Diddy, and then all of a sudden it was late, and then he did this to me. And it's because they were just standing around, like hanging around Diddy when he told them to come through, whatever, thinking that they was going to do something that was going to better their career. They were like, you know what? He's one of the biggest people out there in the whole business, so we got to go chill with him. We got to go get network and all this stuff, right? But then in the back of Diddy's head, he's got a whole other plan for all these people. He's thinking he's got his mind in the gutters and everything. And a lot of people, man, Exhibit, Mike Tyson, like, they've been coming forward. Jadakiss and Fabulous even came forward and talking about how they don't want to party with Diddy no more. Diddy always try to get them to come to some parties and do some crazy weird thing. And on the interviews, it seemed like Fabulous, he don't want to have nothing to do with Diddy. He kind of already knew about how Diddy really was and that he don't roll like that. And so that's why when all them interview questions came out, Jadakiss was on silent mode. He hid under his hoodie. He didn't want no one to think that, like, to remember all the times where he actually, when he was in the Lokes and everything like that, the locks, he was actually hanging with Diddy. They had to do it. A lot of people, they had no choice. There was no going around Diddy. He was like the obstacle in the way. So a lot of the people found out early. A lot of the people in hip hop really know what's going on. They knew what the real deal was behind Diddy, how he moved, how he thought and everything like that. So they knew to keep a distance from him. If they didn't personally need Diddy like right there, or they didn't have to go through him, they didn't want to go through him. So they went around to other people. They went to Russell Simmons, they went to Jay-Z, they went to all these other people, because they know that it was going to be to where they had to get humiliated or do something weird when they was with Diddy, because there was so much going on that a lot of people, man, all them rooms, they were talking about how they walked in the room. Even Bun B was talking about how he walked in the room and it was all people that like to do this, doing this. And once he seen Diddy hop out that room, he saw how Kevin Hart was looking at him and everything. They instantly left the party because they knew that this was not something that they was down for. And when Diddy tricked them into coming and everything, thinking that it was supposed to be like some sort of big event and everything like that, but as soon as they got there, they seen what was going on. They couldn't believe their eyes. A lot of people, they was distraught to find out the fact that what P. Diddy was really doing behind closed doors. A lot of people, they had to survive P. Diddy. He didn't leave them alone. He was doing a lot of people like dirty and wrong, and the allegations are so crazy due to the fact that it's a lot of details in there that specifically talk about what exactly Diddy was doing, who he put his hands on, the actual manner in which he was doing the things that he did, like how far did he take it and everything. It really describes the whole thing. We can't read it right now. You know what it is that people was talking about when they said Diddy did this to them and that to them. It's a lot of people there still in the woodworks coming forward. Like Cassie ain't the only one. They're saying that Usher might come forward. They're saying Jamie Foxx might come forward. Jamie Foxx was the dude who had the camcorder and all of them parties and everything that Diddy was throwing. He really about to expose him, because everybody knows that interview that they was doing where he slipped up and said he was wrestling Usher for the cereal and all this crazy stuff, man. This is something that needs to be addressed, because people got to realize that Diddy took it too far, man. He could have just chilled out and did his business, did what he had to do his reality TV shows. He could have been just married to Jennifer Lopez, but no, he wanted to keep going and seeing how far he get. A lot of people, they do some weird and crazy things to get the power, the money, and to be at the position they are. You know what I'm saying? Like people like P. Diddy, they don't get to that level without doing anything. And this is why all this information keeps coming out, all these stories keep coming out, and people keep speaking forward, speaking out, talking about like things from the 2000s, all the times that Diddy was like trying to work with these people from the reality shows, and they were just basically young and trying to look for some sort of opportunity. So they got really like bamboozled and finessed into going and spending time with Diddy, and then Diddy started doing what he does, and then they're like, is this how this whole business is? They're looking for a new person to sign to. They're like, okay, well, this Diddy stuff, man, is not gonna work out. And that's what happened with Danity Kane. They had to sign the prenup. They told him if you leave Diddy, you have to sign this prenup saying you can't write a book about him, you can't do an interview about him, you can't do no documentary. And so all the people that they knew, that they went and talked to their folks, they talked to their associates, and they said, don't sign the prenup, don't sign the NDA. The NDA was what made it to where people couldn't actually come forward and speak on this and get their settlements and everything like that. All the people that didn't want to sign the NDA, Cassie, Diddy, Kane, 50 Cent, all of them people, they're the ones that is actually speaking out right now and trying to advocate and tell people what Tupac was warning everybody about.